Hello, I'm Margaret Anderson Kelliher. I'm the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives. This is the Minnesota State Capitol, designed by Cass Gilbert and finished in 1905. It is the symbol and the heart of state government in Minnesota. It's also home to the Minnesota legislature. The legislature, House and Senate, crafts the laws that frame the work that we do. Everything from the state budget to mosquito control in Minnesota. Every state has a legislature, and the work of every legislature is absolutely critical. Because of that, the laws, as well as the processes that create them, have to be documented, recorded, and preserved. What you might call a paper trail. Historians use those records. Lawyers, judges, government entities of all kinds rely on them. Citizens, advocacy groups, the media, laws and legislative records are the touchstones of everyday life. They are the foundation for government accountability and transparency. Until relatively recently, all of that meant a lot of paper. Now increasingly, the processes and the products of the legislature are digital. Basically, technology is transforming how government works, just as it's changed the way we listen to music, take photos, and talk on the phone. That's all good. The use of technology in government creates some tremendous advantages and efficiencies. It also creates some challenges, especially for archives and libraries, which have been the repositories of all those paper records over the years, and whose job it is to make them accessible to the public. Now we need a digital trail.
The Minnesota Historical Society has preserved the records of the legislature since the territorial years, before Minnesota even became a state. Those collections are available to all researchers at the History Center in St. Paul. But all our practices, all our skills and experience are focused on paper. Now, with the help of a grant from the Library of Congress's National Digital Information Infrastructure and Preservation Program, NDIIPP, we are in a position to learn how to preserve digital content. The mission of NDIIPP is to develop a national strategy to collect, archive, and preserve the burgeoning amounts of digital content, especially materials that are created only in digital formats for current and future generations. NDIIPP is based on an understanding that digital stewardship on a national scale depends on public and private communities working together. The library has built a preservation network of over 130 partners across the nation to tackle the challenge, and is working with them on a variety of initiatives. Each project will share tools, services, standards, and best practices to help every state manage its digital heritage. In late 2007, with NDIIPP support, Minnesota started a collaborative project to preserve and provide access to the digital records of state legislatures. Our partners include Arkansas, California, Illinois, Kansas, Mississippi, North Dakota, Nebraska, Tennessee, and Vermont, as well as the California Digital Library and the National Conference of State Legislatures. In Minnesota, our key partners are the Office of the Reviser of Statutes and the Legislative Reference Library.
This is important work. As information technology becomes a part of everyday life, government has to adapt the policies, laws, and practices designed for paper records and processes to the digital world. This is especially critical in legislatures. The routines of bill drafting, publication, and communication increasingly take place in a networked environment, relying on digital content and electronic media. The 19th century used the printing press, the 21st century uses the web. These changes support citizens' expectations for transparency, access, and accountability. They offer also the promise of more cost-effective and efficient business routines in government. The Minnesota Historical Society, with its partners in this project, supported by the Library of Congress, will address two fundamental aspects of the transition from the paper to the digital: how to preserve and how to provide access to the records of the electronic legislature. We will make sure that the digital records of the 21st century are even more useful and preserved for just as long as the paper records of the 19th century.